Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I am delighted to introduce our guest, Mr. Lloyd Boucher-Reyes. He's been part of Area 2 in Santa Ana, Orange County for 16 years and he has a personal stake in the community. His grandson is currently enrolled here. This connection really drives his passion for giving back, which is why he's running for a spot on the Santa Ana Unified School District School Board. Now, Lloyd isn't just a dedicated community member. He's also a successful business owner for over 16 years of experience under his belt. He's done a lot of amazing work with various nonprofit organizations. He truly believes in the power of education to change lives and create opportunities. And his goal? To make sure that his grandson and all the other kids in Area 2 have schools that set them up for a bright future. Now, Lloyd is on the ballot for the general election happening on November 5, 2024. And today, he is here to chat with me, to share his platform, to share his vision, and what he hopes to achieve. So let's give a warm welcome to Lloyd, and let's listen to what he has to say. And if you have friends and relatives and loved ones who live in Area 2 of Santa Ana in Orange County, send this podcast episode to them and make sure that they vote for Lloyd for a spot on the Santa Ana Unified School District School Board. Let's begin the podcast. Welcome to the Paco's Place podcast. And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, so finally, papakilala ko na sa inyo, Mr. Lloyd Boucher-Reyes.
Maraming salamat, Paco. Maraming salamat.
Dire-diretsuhin na natin to.
Oh, sige.
Diba? Bago tayo magkwentuhan ng ibang mga bagay-bagay before we go to your origin. The election is coming.
Yeah, po.
Okay? And you have something to give to your constituents in the Santa Ana area.
Oh.
Right? Tell us about that.
Well, yung Santa Ana, hindi Santa Mesa.
Hindi rin Santa Ana, Manila?
Hindi rin Santa Ana, Manila. So, Santa Ana sa County of Orange in California. So, I'm running for trustee board member ng school district, Santa Ana Unified School District.
Let's sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
But you know what, audience, we're gonna speak in English because we are not just reaching out to the Filipino vote, but the Hispanics and everybody else in the district or the zip codes that you're in.
Okay.
So it's okay even if my nose bleeds because my English is limited, but let's go. Okay.
Okay, so yung school board, the school board, their role, their job is to make sure that the policies worked on by schools and teachers are for the benefit of the students. What does that mean to us parents and grandparents of children who are in schools in the Santa Ana Unified School District? When I grew up, elementary in the Philippines and high school, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, all the teachers taught us are what they were hired to teach. If it's English, English. If it's math, if it's science, nothing else. Things were happening politically outside of the classroom. It never got into our classroom. So our focus is, as students, is to focus on the academic education being taught to us.
Interesting read. Totoo, that's true.
Santa Ana Unified School District, the incumbent board, I believe they strayed away from the basic instructing of academics. And the problem we're seeing right now, Paco, have you experienced being bullied at school?
Yeah.
All right. Me too. Especially my brother, 2 years older than I. At his 5th grade, there were two maybe 12-foot or higher kids, his same age group as his. They were beating on my brother.
For what reason?
They were bigger than him.
That was it?
That was it. And I was watching. I could not do anything. I was helpless. But that anger in me from that very young age continued into high school. And that got me in all kinds of trouble because I want this revenge, right? And that is the trauma that students who get bullied at school go over. And some of them, for a lifetime, they don't get over until they talk to someone, right? And bullying has been happening at schools in some of the Santa Ana Unified School District. And I want to stop that. I want to protect the children from that. All of the 5 board members of the Santa Ana Unified School District is under a lawsuit right now for anti-Semitism.
Okay.
Hatred of one people group.
The Jews.
The Jews. The danger of teaching kids to hate one group of people who believe differently that they do, it will start with one group of people. And we know this historically. when we teach our children to hate other kids who are different than they are, these children who learn this method of relating will continue hating other people groups. So what happens in the school, if hate is promoted, there will be fights. So now it's no longer an environment that is best suited for learning.
Right.
Because you have one group of students who come to school who are so afraid to even learn that they cannot focus.
Like what we experienced when we were kids.
We were experienced at school. So it has been happening. And not only that, so we have this lawsuit. So this anti-Semitism of the Santa Ana Unified School District, this is a stain on the city itself.
Of course.
I do not believe that people and families and grandparents in Santa Ana are anti-Semitic. I don't believe that they raise their children to hate other children. I don't believe that. So this is the work of these 5 people. On top of this, they hire a consultant to write a curriculum, right? Teach that the children will read at school. And this person celebrated the October 7 massacre.
Oh, Lord.
What craziness is this? Right? So we have to protect our kids from this, and we have to, in my mind, I can see this picture of different children of different color playing together, right? And studying together and loving each other and supporting each other. That is a type of environment I'd like our kababayan or Filipino countrymen who have children in the Santa Ana Unified School District. Maybe we have a countryman, Filipinas in the city of Tustin, Orange, and Santa Ana, or in the Philippines.
Right.
If you know anyone who have children, parents who have their children in Santa Ana Unified School District, let them know that this problem is occurring. And we have to protect our children. And the way to protect our children is to educate, inform the parents that there are laws that can protect our children from this type of danger.
You know what? Thanks for bringing up that point now, because I have 5 kids. One of them graduated already. He's working now.
Yeah.
But 4 are still in school.
Okay.
And they're in public school.
Yeah.
Thank God, me and my wife, we have opportunities to be hands-on parents.
Good.
Which means every time they come home from school, we rinse whatever brainwashing, political brainwashing happens in school, right?
Right.
But not every kid has parents who are not too busy to do this for them.
Especially the single moms.
They
have to work
with double jobs,
right. So they go home, they don't have any energy anymore to talk to their children. So as parents, we send our children to school as an extension, I believe, of our education from our home.
Yes.
Right? We teach our children our family tradition, our family values, our culture that we want our children to have. But in the school, we don't want anyone to interfere with that home education. Right? At school, math, English, science, and other education that will help them compete in this economy that is more and more becoming technology-based, right? Have you seen robots frying French fries? It's in restaurants, right? The automation is there.
It's Elon Musk nga just released the robotaxi.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how can we prepare our kids to compete technologically worldwide, because a lot of technology are being given to other countries who are being paid cheaply? How can we teach our kids to compete and at the same time work collaboratively with children who are different than they are in belief, in skin color, in attitudes? Right, so that's the type of school I believe we need in the Santa Ana Unified School District, so that the stain of anti-Semitism is removed from our city.
With regard to your kids, how old are they?
Well, my son is 22 years old now.
Okay.
My daughter is going to 36, but my grandson,
I was going to say,
8-year-old, he is in one of the schools in the Santa Ana Unified School District.
And this is one of the people you are trying to protect.
He is one of the persons I'm trying to protect, but by protecting him, by extension, all the other children will be protected as well.
And you know what's so discouraging is teachers.
Mm-hmm.
We students, we look up to them.
Oh, yeah.
My question is, and if you're a teacher listening or watching, my question to all of you is this a form of revenge? Because most of the pay is not too much, you know. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. My ex-wife was a teacher. She's very, very responsible. like she's a Montessori teacher but very responsible. She will not impose her Christian belief, but at the same time she will not tolerate non-belief or discrimination.
Right, right.
That's who she is, and that's how she raised our son.
Right.
But then again, there are teachers who have an agenda.
That's right. That's right.
Disgruntled, but hiding behind the mask of the Unified School District, and then secretly just sprinkling, whether it's Marxism or socialism, in all these students. And the reason why I know is because I'm an active parent.
Right.
And I actually talk to the teachers. Funny enough, I actually teach CPR. I said this a while ago.
Yes.
And one of the requirements for me with the homeroom teacher of my kids, they need to show me that they know how to perform CPR.
Right.
Because their job is to take care of my kids.
Yes, that's right.
Which is why I see where you're coming from. But how can you affect change? There are going to be 5 of you sa board, right? What are the dynamics too? Because me, Michael, and I bet most of your constituents and non-constituents really are detached from what the dynamics is within the school board. You said whatever the Unified School District implements, whatever they agree upon, you oversee to make sure that the teachers actually implement them.
Right. So there's a
Here's my question.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
What if it's already crooked at the top level?
Right.
What if you don't agree with the people at the top? Because it comes from the assembly. Eh?
Yeah. And through the California Department of Education.
Yes, right?
Right. So the Santa Ana Unified School District by policy can say yes or no.
Oh.
Right.
Who says yes or no? Is that the board members?
The board members. Right. For example, I'll just give you one example. See, this ethnic studies curriculum that's required by California Department of Education because it was approved by the governor, right? So the requirement to have an ethnic studies course, I don't know why, because we already have history, right, is one course. All it is, one course.
Right.
The board of the Santa Ana Unified School District created many flavors of this ethnic studies. For example, one math course traditionally now maybe has 2 or 3 ethnic studies course.
Because of Chinese abacus. No, just kidding.
And the problem is, so now instead of the students focusing on one math class, now they have other flavors of math that has nothing to do potentially with math. And this is probably the subject of the lawsuit of the anti-Semitism, right? So the board has the power to implement policies. And if the board has no understanding of federal law, right, so they can just say yes to whatever is pushed down by the state law to them, right? Because the board members can be sued anytime as well, right? So I'll give you an example. So there's this policy. There's in San Diego 2 teachers. They did not want to lie to the parents about what's going on with their kids, right? So they were being harassed at the San Diego school district. So they found a lawyer who knows federal law who took the school district to court.
They took on
So this is a protection for teachers, right?
Yes.
So the protection for teachers, depending on their belief system, if they want to be truthful, there is a precedent case going on right now. So they don't have to do what the school says or the school district says they must do if it goes against their beliefs.
Oh, wow.
Not only in religion, but in morality.
Even politics.
Right. So if it goes against their belief, then they now have precedent to say, you know what? There's this case in San Diego, California. Let us talk to those lawyers and see how they can help us because we really have a good relationship with the parents.
Right.
We don't want to lie to the parents. So there are legal avenues, federal-wise, on how we can protect teachers, we can protect parents, we can protect children from things that are being imposed on them that they should have known it's going on, right? They should be notified at the minimum to say, you know what, that type of curriculum, I don't want that for my children. Another parent might say that type of curriculum, that's okay. So now we have this conflict.
Right.
How do we resolve this conflict? In my opinion, it should be an opt-in. You tell me what you're going to teach my kids.
Yeah.
I have to say, yes, I have to sign it, and they have to be a witness that says I
Yeah.
signed this. It's not blanket. You'll find out that we already taught your kid about it.
Wait, so
Not
this
too late.
this opt-in thing, this is not implemented yet.
Not implemented.
But if you are in office, this is something you'd like to propose.
That's what I'd like to propose that, because now,
This is good. Yeah.
right, because for parents who has a certain belief system, I don't want my children to learn about this, then the power to decide is not taken away from them.
Like let's say same-sex marriage.
Oh, so that's another one. It's another complicated matter, but
Yeah.
two sides of the story.
Yes.
Right? Some are approving of it, some are not. And for me, as a board member of this unified school district, my purpose is to make sure that children are able to compete professionally when they go out to school. So these things about same-sex marriage, this is, I believe, is going back again to the parents. You have a relationship and you have time with your children to talk about this. I believe should happen in the home.
Because there are parents who are same-sex.
Right.
Like, what if I have a dad and a dad?
Right.
Or I have a mom and a mom.
Right.
And then, let's say Michael, let's say devout Catholic or Christian.
Right.
I have a dad, I have a mom.
Right.
Right? So me and Mike would probably go to the same public school. But at home, we already have different beliefs.
Right.
Isn't it better if there are opt-ins for, well, I don't know if there are homeroom subjects or moral ethics subjects that deal with these type of things?
Yeah.
You know what
I think for any divisive issue, right? For any divisive issue where you have at least two sides of the coin that don't agree, then I believe, in my opinion, that should be an opt-in, right? Because if that's an opt-in, now you will hear from parents who are against it. Now there's going to be a fight, right? Now there's going to be this ongoing battle between the school district and the parents, and a heated argument. And there's no peace in the land. There's no peace in the classroom. There's no peace in the school district, right? So these should be mindful implementations. And the problem with this board right now, there are 5 of them, and 3 are up for election. So if we win 3, we are in the majority. God willing, it happens, right? They do not ask the input of the community.
Oh.
They did not ask the input of who will be affected by these policies. They
Right.
just rammed it in. So that's why we have this problem, right? The teachers are angry with the school board. Parents are angry with the school board, right? So a lot of communities angry with the school board. Why? Why are these different groups of people angry with the current school board of the Santa Ana Unified School District? Because they don't listen. They listen very poorly, and they don't care about the input from the community. That's why we have this problem.
What convinced you, aside from your grandson?
I had no intention of running.
Oh, let's talk about your intent. How did that happen, naman?
So someone,
Who's this someone?
a new client of mine last year is a lawyer.
Wait, what do you do? What aside from what's your profession?
Well, I'm a tax advocate,
Okay.
tax forensics expert. So what I do is anyone with federal tax matters or California tax matters is I help them. I represent them. I find the applicable tax laws that will help them resolve their matter. Or some of them, hey, you just have to pay this taxes. There's no way around it.
So can I put a link in the description to promote that service that you do?
Sure.
Okay.
You can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been advocating for per people. My idea in advocating for people, well, we have laws that we have to follow. You just have to know what the laws are, and as long as we get you into a compliance mode. For example, owing taxes, compliance mode doesn't mean you pay all the taxes. There are certain things you can do to be compliant, and then once you are compliant, then we can help you moving forward, right?
Yeah, first you have to be compliant first.
First,
Yeah.
that means we have to follow
First
law.
things first, di ba?
First thing first. So going back to the subject, so why did I do this?
Yes.
So this new client of mine says, you know what, the person in your area, District 2, Santa Unified School District, she might not run. So if she doesn't run, could be a shoe-in. So, interesting. So I told the guy, let me talk to some people. Let me find out what's going on.
Who are these some people that you talk to?
Some in office in the city of Santa Ana.
Okay.
Some are people who have labor unions associated with them, and some are respected people in the community. I'm sorry, I cannot name names because it's a campaign season, and including school police. And then I joined this Neighbor of Santa Ana Facebook group, and I have heard nothing good about this Santa Ana school board. Then people were sharing me links to meetings of the board with the public, a lot of heated arguments, a lot of yelling, a lot of shouting. And one of the school board, I'm not going to name names, is one of the teachers was expressing her this concern about what's going on with the school board. And one of them called the lady a racist in public.
Oh my God.
What's this? Right? So this is how we want to teach our children to converse publicly. Right? No respect, attacking people. So this is not a good representation of the school board that the teaching children would like to. Oh, so this is how we converse. Right? We don't agree with someone, just gonna attack that person. That's not a very good thing as an example for kids, I believe.
So this is one of your triggers because of the bullying.
The bullying is one.
Yeah.
The parents should have absolute rights.
Yes.
In the terms of what their children should learn. At least they should be notified first. Right.
How did you react when you found out that if a child wants to transition, they can choose not to tell the parents about it, and the school can? I want to hear your thoughts.
Yes, that's why I sighed a little bit, because you have children, I have children, many of you have children. You know, when our child starts as a baby, right? We really cuddle that. We don't want to anything happen to that child, right? Then that child starts crawling. We tell that child, don't go there. And some of our children, they just want to poke that electric socket, right? We just tell them, don't go there. And then the child changes age. We see that life change. And then our interaction with the child changes, because we can no longer be that 10-year-old parent. Now we have to be a 15-year-old parent.
Yes.
And now the scare.
Yes.
Oh, my child is not home. My child escaped out of the window, 2 o'clock in the morning. The fear of the parent, right? But we still want to instill in that child growing up our culture and tradition. You know that the term is parental notification exclusion. That is the term.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what that does for me? I am here. This is my child. And that parental notification exclusion
puts a
wedge.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it separates me from my child. And I don't want that to happen to you and your children. It separates me from my child. So now, instead of the child wanting to be honest to his or her parent, that child now has to think, if I tell my parents going to help me, hate me because that's what I heard from this person. You know, one of the persons I talked with when I was campaigning in the city of Santa Ana. So we had this conversation. Well, the person, I think she was 4, and me says, what about the parents who's not for it? And then one of the things, and that shocked me, that parents said, well, there are parents, there are cultures that they'll beat up their child if they find out they are living a different sex. So I asked this person, do you know of any parent who did that? And well, the person said to me was, well, there are cultures like that. And I hope it's not happening, because we are in America.
Yes.
Right? We have a certain protection. But if that's happening, and you know it, you have to voice out. Right? This you have to tell the police.
Yeah. Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services, we have to do that.
But if it hasn't happened,
right?
I mean, you know, that thing, what do you call it again? Parental notification exclusion. Guys, imagine being on Facebook and not receiving any notifications.
That's right. Right.
You know, analogy. But it's true, right? Like, that's you're unaware of what's going on.
Right. And this is the sad part, right? So our children reaches a certain age. We ask them, how are you doing today, son? How are you doing today, daughter? That's all the response we get. On top of that, there's this thing that they cannot talk about it. Then we will see that behavior change. We can see it in our children's eyes and facial expressions if there's something wrong.
What are you going to do about it if you're in office?
Well, the first I'm going to do about it with my office is, since we have a lawsuit about this anti-Semitism, is I'm going to propose a policy to remove all those extraneous ethnic studies courses.
How about the exclusion? Are you able to?
The parental notification exclusion, that has to go to the legal system. And I believe there's already a lawsuit going on against that California AB 1955. So that has to go to the legal system for that to happen. But I think what the school board can do is notify the parent honestly, right, and to what they can and they cannot do, and just be honest about this, and instruct the parents. Okay, we cannot do anything. We are bounded by the law because of what we're doing, but these are the legal avenues. This is what the federal law says, and we have a copy of that document on the rights of parents, on what legal avenues they can take at the federal level.
What's going on with the school district? in general. I think our age isn't that far off. When we were young, we already thought it was kind of liberal when we were young. But there were, to your point, there was a degree of culture
Right.
implemented. Maybe because it's the Philippines, and we're kind of monolith because we were all Filipinos growing up in the Philippines. But here, it's a mosaic, or it's an amalgamation of different culture melded into, like when you like your kids, I hope ended up pretty much okay, right? Did they go to public school also?
Yeah, both of my children went to public school, and then there's some there's some growing pains. But they're both adults now. But I worry a lot for my grandson.
Isn't it so different now? No,
It is very, very different what's going on now, and it's really scary. If we parents, right? So if you are in the United States, Filipino, wherever you are in the United States, and you have a right to vote, you're a United States citizen, please register to vote and vote, because your vote may be the difference, may the one that make a difference to change things going on in your school district. That's very, very important. Your vote really matters. Your vote really counts. So going back to what's going on, and you alluded to Marxism earlier, right?
Socialism, communism, Marxism, yeah.
So the separating children from the parents, to me, it's kind of in that ball game.
Right?
Because there are historically, right, what did the Chinese Communist Revolution do? They separated children from the parents.
Yeah.
The killing fields, right? It was indoctrinating the children that we will take place of your parents. This is very dangerous, right? Because in a multicultural society, we want to preserve that multiculturality, diversity, right? Diversity with respect to each individual culture.
Yes.
And if we interject ourselves in between the children and parents, if you're a government school district, I think it's wrong, because now we are interrupting the cultural tradition being passed down to generations. So we can stop it, but I think it's November 5. It might be our last time to really make a difference.
This election is so polarizing. No?
It's so polarizing. It's so dividing. I'm so scared about this, actually. But for people of faith, there we go to the one we believe in, who can make a change, and that one would like to bring love in all of the world. And I think if we treat each other in that way, that everyone was created in His image and likeness.
Amen.
So we have differences, that's okay. We have two parties majority, that's okay. But I think we should not forget what's important, right? The family is the fabric of this United States and any nation. A strong family, united family, will make a strong city, a strong county, a strong state, and a strong nation. But if we are destroying that family, what kind of country our children will have 20, 30 years from now? You know, the freedoms that we're going to have. Yeah. If they don't learn to respect their parents, what will give them the incentive to respect authority? Because there's no authority to respect if we divide children and parents.
Di ba nga what happened with President Johnson in the 60s?
Yeah.
Taking out the father.
Right.
And replacing the state fatherless.
That's right.
Yung black demographic sa atin.
Yeah.
And now they're waking up. Now black men know that, you know what, I'm not gonna rely on the state to feed me. I'm gonna make my millions. I'm gonna make my money.
Right.
And it's happening now, and they're thinking autonomously. And I think, you know, we Asians, we're lucky because most of us have that insight. Like when we came, did you come here as an immigrant?
Yes.
When we come here as an immigrant, it's more, you know what, let me find a way to feed myself because this is America.
That's right. You touched on something very important.
Go.
All right. You give a person a fish, forever will receive fish. Yes. And now that I am the giver of fish, if you want more from me, you cannot do more from me, right? If you don't do more from me, I'm going to give you maybe just a head. Fish head, that's all you're going to get. But if you teach a person how to fish, here are the resources, go for it. You and I, immigrants here, we made a life out of ourselves. We worked hard, right? I started pushing a cart and pick and save when they were still alive. But I always look at what's the next level.
Yeah.
Oh, this country has so much opportunity. The choice of choosing school for me, for my children is very important, right? So the idea of handing things out to people, that changes, I believe, the psyche of that person.
Yeah.
And it can happen for many, many years. And their children, I think, will learn that.
Because that's what they see.
Right. There's a free thing coming in. I don't have to work no more. Right? So that's really very, very scary. But the good thing, people are seeing that, you know what? Hard work has its benefits. And it has a long-term impact on our children to see that their parents are really working hard.
You know where I learned this from? I have a friend, his name is Fabian Robinson. Shout out Fabian. He's African-American. But he was the one who told me because he grew up in West Covina, surrounded by Filipinos.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I learned not to ask for a fish was because I was surrounded by fishermen.
See, the influence, very important.
That's why, you know, like my Filipino friends were hustling at a young age. I learned how to hustle.
Yeah.
Now, like when I came to the States, my cousin, she was 4 at the time. And every time they would have a baseball game, she would come home with a trophy.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, did you win? No, kuya, but I played baseball. The heck? And they gave you a trophy because you played baseball? During our time, during the barangay games.
There's only one.
Right?
That's right. There's only one winner.
And so I believe that, you know, at my cousin is 20 years younger than I am. But that generation was kind of molded into feeling entitled.
That's right. That's right. And then not having this when we are growing up. You got to do your best. You got to compete.
Yes.
Not for the purpose of whom you're competing, but it's for you. The competition is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's nothing. Everybody wins.
Everybody has a certificate, right? Just to feel good, right?
How about this? School district. Let's talk school district.
All right.
No child left behind. What's your thought on that?
To me, depends on the definition or who's defining it. But to me, that no child left behind is this. Why is it that in our area, there are schools are failing in math and English, but we have these investments in schools, right? There's money pouring into schools for facility improvement, facility development. There's supposed to be this, the superintendent's office has a new system of learning that's to train teachers to improve the grades of the students, but we are yet to see those grades improve. What does it mean, no child left behind? If our schools at the Santa Ana Unified School District cannot even meet the minimum requirements for passing, as I said, it means there's a lot of students being left behind, right? If we are having our kids graduate high school at our Santa Ana Unified School District, and still they have to attend a lot of remedial classes. What time did they spend at school?
Correct.
Right? It's a waste of their time. It's a waste of their resources. We are passing kids in high school so that we can say, hey, we have high graduation rates. For the detriment of whom? Those high schoolers passing, right? So we are passing high school students at the Santa Ana Unified School District.
Even if they don't deserve it.
And they're not prepared to compete.
It's like that. It's like my cousin and her trophy.
Yeah. Yeah. So who suffers? Right? So who suffers? The children who graduate. Because we give them a false sense of belief that they have accomplished something and only to repeat the thing again. So this is really sad. So in this environment, there are children getting left behind because we should have done a better job in making sure that all Santa Ana Unified School District kids, really when they pass, it really means they have met the minimum standards. Legitimate. Then they can really say, you know what, I graduated. This is really good for me because now I can get into college if I want to. I don't have to repeat what I learned in high school because now instead of me cutting my 4-year college aspiration to finish college, now it's 5 or 6 years because I have to do remedial classes. I think this is a bad thing to be getting our children into, and I'm gonna get a lot of slack, a lot of attacks from this. But this is why I'm running, right? This is not for me. This is for my grandson, and this is for the school district kids. And I was minding my own business, and this thing dropped into my lap, and now we have to move forward.
What did your wife say when Because I asked you a while ago, whom did you talk to, di ba?
Yeah.
So, did you talk to all these people from the different sectors first before talking to Eliza? Or did you talk to Eliza before talking to these people first?
Okay. I think I hinted before talking to her, right? And after that, I had a conversation with Eliza. And then I presented to her what I found out. No one seems to like all 5 board members of the Santa Ana Unified School District because they don't listen to anyone. And this is very important. The bosses, it's a volunteer position. This board is a volunteer position.
Because that was my next question. Right. How much are you going to make? Because then again, you're going to have to divide your time between your private sector job and this commitment. Okay. Okay.
Although it's a volunteer work, let's not forget who our boss are at the Santa Ana Unified School District. Who are the bosses?
Who?
The taxpayers. The parents who entrust us with our children. Those are. So who's the client? The taxpayers are the bosses. The primary clients are the parents or guardians of children. Who are the beneficiaries? The school children. All of our investments in money, equipment, buildings, construction facilities, and education should be geared towards making sure that our school children pass the minimum standard requirements, English, math, and science at the minimum. Right?
Right.
I think if we come back to our senses and focus on the children and cut where we need to cut, so that our children has all the resources they need to succeed. We have to think 5, 20, 30 years from now, where will our children in Santa gonna be if we give them not a great outcome of their education experience? We have to strive for the best. I want all children of the Santa Ana Unified School District, when someone outside of the city said, "Where did you graduate? Where are you studying?" Santa Ana Unified School District, that person asks, "Oh, I wish my child is at that school." That's what I want for the Santa Ana Unified School District. The top in the country. Orange County.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Boucher-Reyes. Guys, don't forget to cast your vote on November 5. Santa Ana School District zip codes. What are the zip codes?
Well, 92704 and the other one I believe 92705. But for people who live in Santa Ana, they will get a mailer. And in the mailer for voting, it will show who the candidates are in their city. So just, there are 3 candidates that can do a very, very great job in changing things for the school. Brenda Lebsack, Area 1. Me, Lloyd Boucher-Reyes, Area 2. And Dana Suarez, Area 3. Both for the 3 of us. And we will make good changes for our students in Santa Ana Unified School District.
Thank you, guys. Let's support, huh?